Hello everyone, my name is Abigail, and this is my final project for Technology Leadership in Schools. Today I'm going to be presenting a leadership model I created based on my experience as an educator and what I've learned through this course. It's called the Pivot Model, a framework for school-based technology leadership that focuses on what teachers really need: support, trust, and tools that actually work. I work in a school where teachers are stretched thin. Resources are limited and expectations keep piling up. Technology is often seen as another demand, not a support, and I think that's where we've gone wrong. We can't expect teachers to suddenly transform instruction with digital tools if we haven't first invested in their growth, their voice, and their day-to-day needs. Technology leadership isn't just about getting more Chromebooks. It's about building a culture where teachers feel seen, supported, and part of a plan. That's why I created the pivot model, because we need more than devices. We need direction. As you can see, the center of this image, that is us as technology leadership. We are the center and the cornerstone of technology leadership in schools. This model grew from both coursework and lived experience. We studied the ISTE standards for leaders, which emphasize empowering educators, ensuring equity, and designing systems for learning. Those standards made me ask, how many of our systems actually feel empowering? Because in my school, it often feels like tech is something done to teachers, not with them. I was also deeply impacted by Fullen's forces for change, especially his focus on relationships and motivation. It reminded me that any tech plan will fail if people don't feel invested. Because the real driving force behind this model is my experience watching great teachers burn out, avoiding technology out of fear, or do incredible things with almost nothing. Those are the voices I want this model to represent. Now let's discuss the pivot model. The pivot model includes 5 interconnected elements: professional development, infrastructure and tools, vision for change, ownership by educators, and tool integration. As you can see, it's circular, because change is ongoing. We're never done supporting teachers. Let's walk through each part of the model. This is where everything starts. Right now, in my school, PD often looks like a rushed after-school meeting or a one-time training on a tool we may or may not use. There's no follow-up, no coaching, and no modeling. But the teachers I work with want to grow. There's just overwhelming and under-supported issues that need to be addressed first. This model says professional development must be consistent, collaborative, and connected to real classroom needs. That means job-embedded coaching, tech mentors on staff, and time to experiment with permission to fail. Imagine if every new tool came with a teacher partner, not a PowerPoint. That's what real professional development looks like. Here's the reality in my school. We don't have enough working devices for every student. The Wi-Fi is slow. Tech support, maybe once a month. Some classrooms still rely on borrowed Chromebooks or nothing at all. We talk about 21st century learning, but our infrastructure is stuck in the past. Technology leadership must include advocating for equitable access for all students and all teachers, not just between schools, but between classrooms in the same building. Every student deserves the same opportunities, and every teacher deserves tools that actually work, not broken devices and glitchy logins. Vision for change. This is the heart of leadership, knowing where we're going and helping others to see it too. In my school, there's a gap between leadership's goals and what's communicated for teachers. There's no shared vision, just a list of tasks. When Fullen talks about building relationships and purpose, it really hits home. We need to lead with why, not just what. Why are we using this tool? Why does digital citizenship matter? Why should a teacher take time to change what's already working? Leaders must invite teachers into the vision, not hand it down. Whether they are shared goal setting, faculty discussions, or teacher-led pilot programs, the vision has to be something we all own. Ownership by educators. This part is personal. I'm speaking as an educator. I've seen teachers light up when they're trusted to lead a tech initiative or any initiative on campus. I've also seen them shut down when decisions are made without their input, especially when they're told, just do this. Ownership means giving teachers voice. It means allowing risk, celebrating effort, and creating time for peer-to-peer learning. In my building, we need this more than ever. Some teachers avoid technology out of fear of judgment or failure. Others are doing amazing things quietly with no recognition. What if our tech leadership model included teacher leadership roles, showcasing days, or even a rotating tech champion in each department? Ownership creates a momentum that creates culture. Tool integration. Finally, tools must serve instruction, not the other way around. Tools are meant to inhabit learning, not replace it. In my school, I've seen too many tools introduced with no context. Teachers are left wondering, where does this fit in? How does this help my students? This model says, start with learning goals. Let tech support the standards, not distract from them. For example, I've seen a colleague use Google Jamboard with struggling readers to visualize vocabulary. Another used Flip to build community in the classroom where students were hesitant to speak. Neither of them used these tools because they were trendy. They used them because they solved a problem. Integration should feel like a solution, not an obligation. Let's talk about a scenario where this pivot model could come in handy. A school wants to launch a digital portfolio system. How would Pivot help? Start with PD. Offer small group workshops in a teacher-led pilot group. Assess the infrastructure. Make sure every student and teacher has a working device with reliable logins. Share the vision. Explain how digital portfolios promote student voice and growth over time. Encourage ownership. Let teachers choose platforms and design how it fits the subject. Support tool integration. Provide examples, planning time, and real classroom use cases. That's what it looks like when leadership becomes a team effort. Why does this model work? First, the model works because it's adaptable. It doesn't assume a perfect school or an unlimited budget. It's made for real teachers in real school districts like mine. It says you can start anywhere, with professional development or a vision, or just by listening to your staff and your fellow colleagues. It reminds leaders that the most important thing isn't the tool, it's the teacher that's using it. To close, I built this model because I'm tired of seeing teachers left out of the conversation, and tech treated like it's a magic wand and a one-stop shop for everything. It's not. It's a tool. And tools are only as good as the people that use them and the systems that support them. The pivot model is my way of recentering the conversation around people, purpose, and possibility. Because when teachers feel supported, heard, and equipped, amazing things can happen in the classroom. Thank you so much for your time. I'd love to answer any questions you have. Feel free to email me or comment on the Moodle below. I hope you have a great beginning of your school year and good luck on finals. Thank you.